a 2019 op-ed published in The Guardian, Kenneth Stern, the lead drafter of the IHRA's working definition of anti-Semitism, explains that the definition was created primarily so that European data collectors could know what to include and exclude. He then goes on to state, for a fact and with the clearest and most assertive language, that the definition was never intended to be a campus hate speech code. If you'd rather not take the word of the producer about their very own product, then all it takes is a simple online search for the IHRA's effect on academia. And as you go through the overwhelmingly opposing stances from professors, teachers, and academic professionals from all around the world, ask yourself, why? And who would really benefit from introducing such a hurdle into an education system that already struggles with equity and representation issues for all minorities? It's not as if voices advocating for the just Palestinian cause could do with more suppression as it stands. In a 2021 investigative piece about a neighboring school board, Desmond Cole reports that a black student is suspended from school for saying the words "Free Palestine" during morning announcements. A book that includes journal entries of Palestinian children is banned from school libraries. An educator sharing anti-oppression resources on Palestine for colleagues on an opt-in basis is put under investigation and his mail-out is cancelled. A student who comes to class wearing a kufiyya, a traditional Palestinian scarf, is told to remove it or get out. Students who object to history lessons that erase Palestinian existence are told they are anti-Semitic. While none of these voices were anti-Semitic, they were all anti-Zionist in nature. Anti-Zionism was not, is not, and should never be synonymous with anti-Semitism, yet this is exactly the core issue with the IHRA's definition. It is so vague and so loosely defined that it can be easily used to encompass Zionism with the shield meant to fend off anti-Semitism. And you don't need to take my word for it. Jared Kushner, who oversaw the US policy on Israel and Palestine during the Trump presidency, wrote in the New York Times that the definition makes clear that anti-Zionism is anti-Semitism. Stern, who is again the drafter of the definition, comments on this, saying that while Stern himself is a Zionist, on a college campus where the purpose is to explore ideas, anti-Zionists have a right to free expression. He suspects that if Kushner or himself had been born into a Palestinian family displaced in 1948, they might have a different view of Zionism, and that need not be because we vilify Jews or think they conspire to harm humanity. Risk-averting traits are deeply ingrained in each and every one of us, and such traits have been key to our collective survival as a community. With the threat of being labeled anti-Semitic continuously looming over one, it stands within reason that in an attempt to avert such a threat, one is more likely to resort to self-censoring. While self-censoring as a means for the survival of community members endangers the thriving of said communities, self-censoring as a means for the survival of teachers and educators in the community endangers its very existence. It goes without saying that anti-Semitism was, is, and will always never be okay. Neither is Islamophobia, racism, transphobia, nor any other form of hate or discrimination for which there should be no tolerance in or outside our classrooms. Yet, as a student advocate, I am perplexed by such a differential treatment without comprehensive data collection and analysis. More importantly, as I was the only Arab on the board table for 2 terms and with 2 different boards of trustees, I can't help but feel fearful for the kind of message that WRDSB, a school board with the slogan that our students are first, each and every one, is sending to Palestinians, Arabs, and advocates for the just Palestinian cause in the student body by deeming it fitting that the only way to combat anti-Semitism is by adopting a definition that has widely been known to undermine, target, and silence many voices similar to their own. Despite their best intentions, history rarely looks kindly on those who open the floodgates. I ask you to protect student voices, their freedom of expression, and their right to critical thinking. I ask you to hear our voice and let us be seen, each and every one.